I'm testing out. Let's see if I can. Testing out a microphone. All right. Hopefully this clears some things up. I think I'm on the internet. Hopefully. And if I am, man, it's a pleasure to be here with y'all. Whoever's going to join in this evening. All right. Let me get some stuff situated. I'm sitting here in front of a laundromat. It's pretty good lighting, if I do say so myself. Seeing if this here microphone works. There's something on my mind. We're not going to go through the whole gambit of news. Not today. I think we're going to have to build up to that. All right. Might be coming up soon. But I thought that, you know what I'm saying, we'd discuss something that I brought up earlier the other day, a few days ago. And that is a man by the name of E.T. Williams. The doctor of common sense. If you don't know who that is, you can Google who that is. E.T. Williams. Pretty big deal on YouTube, I think. Forget exactly what his subscribership was. Shout out to that person. You're the first person in the room, probably. There might be some other people in the room. YouTube tends to lie to me. Oh, shoot. That's crazy. Hey, believe it or not, this is live. And I'm live right here in front of a laundromat. I'm sitting here because it's good lighting. All right. It's hard to find. I don't know if you've seen the previous videos, man, but I've been chilling out at a trailer park. It's a long story. In fact, you know, I really should make a video about it all to myself or to itself, as far as, you know, hanging out at a trailer park, getting mad money. Read your chat. Yeah, well, you said, I mean, it's just you in the chat right now, I believe. You said, this you? Yeah, it is me. Said, is this live? I'm afraid so. Hey, you told me to read the chat, and I already read that. But hey, can you please tell me, is the audio coming in pretty good? Because I'm testing out this new microphone, and I'm hoping that it works. The last video, I didn't really care for the audio. It's fucking badass. Andrew El Nino Trevino, he said, that's fucking badass. It's good as shit to see you. Thanks, man. I don't see you, but you know what? We're definitely going to have to get that figured out. I means to get that underway as far as split screening. You know what I'm saying? Talking to different various people who might, you know what I'm saying, have different various perspectives. That people, the volume is pretty dang good. Man, I look forward to it. I'm gonna, when I go back home, I'm gonna tiptoe in there and be like, oh, what about the audio? The audio was terrible last time. I don't know if you seen the last video or the one that I did the other night. I also did one earlier today. But you know, it was terrible audio. It was ridiculous. It was embarrassing, but honestly, I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up with technology. You know what I mean? It's taking time because, to be honest, you know, I got the money for it. I can go ahead and get it. I've been running so behind on technology that I don't know what's what. I don't know. I don't know, up and down sometimes, and it makes my life hard. Andrew Trevino, El Nino says this. He says, would like for it to be louder, but it works. You know, I wonder if I could turn it up. I really have no idea. There's a 10-second lag between when I text and once you read it. It may be that I read a little bit too slow, and I do, admittedly. All right. But anyways, see, the topic for tonight, I want to dive into it before we forget about it, is this guy by the name of E.T. Williams. All right. I don't know if Andrew El Nino just works too hard, all right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe not too hard, but just hard enough. He gets that money. Everybody knows that. So he may not even have time to know who E.T. Williams is. All right, he might not know who that is, but just suggesting that maybe he doesn't know who that is. E.T. Williams is I would say, a pretty successful internet personality. He's been so for a while. I don't remember the exact subscribership, all right, but it was in the tens of thousands at least, and climbing. Pretty popular on YouTube, all right. And just to sum him up, basically, if you're gonna wrap him up in a little nutshell, E.T. Williams is brass. He takes no nonsense. It's the common sense nation that he runs. He's the doctor of common sense. It really is keeping it brash in the way that you would see here in Texas. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to reiterate that for people out in other places of the country who may not know that. All right? He says some things that honestly are uncouth. All right? He says some stuff that make me stand back and go, God damn, oh, God damn. Sometimes when I'm watching his videos, to be honest, right? For the most part, he be following the rules anyways. The whole YouTube, the user agreement and everything, all the rules that you sign up for, he be following them. Doesn't matter, right? Sometimes he may tip his toe over the line. It happens to the best of us. But YouTube has had a beef with E.T. Williams, right? And, check him out. You can chalk it up to whatever you want to. I tend to believe, and E.T. also tends to believe that, it's his skepticism of, is he spiritual? He's mad spiritual. E.T. Williams is mad spiritual, but here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? He's what you would call a skeptical of the whole Muslim thing, with the whole extremism and Allah, la, 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 and all the dang bombing and stuff like that. He's pretty dang skeptical of it. And really, he does kind of cut to the meat, right down to the bone of the situation sometimes. And he says words that you might call controversial. Or is he a El Nino wants to know if E.T. Williams is spiritual or a sovereign citizen. I don't know. I mean, a sovereign citizen, I would imagine, can also be quite spiritual. I'm not sure how that question, what it means. I don't know if I wouldn't say, here's the thing, you just got to kind of check him out. Before you do check him out, I got to say this. He's what you would call a typical just Texan, not really taking any guff from nobody type individual, right? Really not allowing or tolerating nonsense, all right? It's the kind of dude he is. I would say if you were to categorize him, you might say that he's right-leaning, or what you might call conservative, in the way that people from Texas tend to be. You know what I mean? So he is this, but he does speak in a way that might make you go, oh man, I don't know if you should be speaking in that way. I can agree. I can agree that people would think this. However, he does have the First Amendment, all right? And I know a lot of people have been bringing that up for a while. Oh, First Amendment, freedom of speech and all this. All right. In this whole situation, let's kind of forget about all that. Anyways, it doesn't really pertain, all right? Because we're talking about the world of YouTube. Mind you, this channel is called The End of YouTube, and that is for good reason. YouTube is a Titanic, and it is sinking right now. And they meant to hit the iceberg is the problem. YouTube meant to hit the iceberg. We're about to go down. But we're going to discuss that in a second. First, let's discuss Andrew El Nino's comment. He says, evidence of facts usually don't agree with the official story. I'm not sure which official story he's referring to. It helps me identify with his followers. That's true. I notice with a lot of these YouTube entities and stuff, you get in the chat rooms, in the comment sections, you find that you have a lot in common with the other people who like the videos and stuff. And you wind up building a network, and I can attest to that firsthand in a lot of ways. But more specifically pertaining to this whole Caitlin Nicole Davis situation, and which is definitely an ongoing situation. All right, that whole Caitlin Nicole Davis situation, it brings people together. It's already brought a lot of people together of like minds, people who are concerned about the same things. To be honest with you, because here's the thing. Before we go on any further, here's the thing. What I gotta let y'all know: ain't enough time in the day, right? And this applies to everybody out there. And enough time to do whatever you want to do. You have to get certain things done, right? So in that regards, it's like you can't keep your eye on everything. You have to keep attention and consideration on your own life, especially if you had children and stuff that you have to look after. You have responsibilities. You definitely catch a blind spot. All right, you have to, because ain't enough time in a day. All right. So what people are figuring out here on the internet, God, a big old truck just parked, and it was all loud in front of me. All right, what people are figuring out is they're gathering around certain situations in which everybody's concerned, such as the Caitlin Nicole Davis situation. They're gathering around, they're saying, hey, what is this? This is all messed up. We can't have this or accept this. And what are we going to do about this? They come together and they meet each other. And they throw ideas around, and actually it's very productive. It doesn't seem so on the surface, to be honest, because we're in a situation where our law system don't really help us, you know what I'm saying? So we're actually having to go above and beyond the law. I'm not saying like vigilante style or anything like that. What I'm saying is our detective work, it's no longer like in the old novels where, you know what I'm saying, people were reading about detectives and they're like, oh, some gumshoe and stuff, and you pay him and he's like the police. He's not like the police. Police can't do this. The police can't do what it is that is taking place here on the internet, all on YouTube and all on Facebook and all on all these other different media outlets. Andrew Trevino says this. Says YouTube is going downhill. Yeah, I know it, all right? In fact, as you might imagine, it is out of smugness and just kind of delight that I made the channel named The End of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because I was able to figure out that pretty much we were at the tail end. So when I did make the new channel, we were done for. Everybody after me, honestly, fact, all right? Might be fact. Might be fact. Everybody after me, because it's the end of YouTube. And the whole thing is, there's a big thing behind that. Just to sum it up, YouTube does not give a damn. They do not give a fuck or any shits. They don't give any of that and stuff. They don't even care about their own lives. And so they're suiciding themselves right now. It might take a while. It might make a very big splash when it happens. But they're doing it. They're obviously doing it. They're trying to kill themselves. Here's what Andrew Trevino says. And you know what? Andrew Trevino has already been one of the most on-spot, what do you call, not assistant, but co-commentator that I've had. You know what I'm saying? It's times like these when it's like, dude, I wish we could get that split screen up like some of them be doing out there. And there's a lot of people on YouTube taking advantage and do just that right now. Putting together minds and stuff, and people just talking to each other at length. Joe Rogan, etc., etc. People just talking to each other for hours and hours and hours, just trying to get down to the bottom of things. People are doing that right now. It's the future of the world. It's the way of the future. Anyways, Andrew Trevino says YouTube is going down. It is going down. It is going down. But it's interesting how it's all taking place, and that's why we're discussing what we're discussing tonight. Before we dive right back into it, Andrew Trevino says this: political correctness is crap. I don't hardly even know what it is anymore. It is crap. I don't know what it is anymore. The REs, I'm not sure. It says such a lag between the text, and when you read it, it makes me seem retarded and crazy. Yeah, it does. YouTube's gonna make you seem retarded and crazy. All right, that's what they mean to do. Anyways, it says civil disobedience is on the rise. It surely is in many different forms. in many, many different forms. And I don't know if you agree, but basically it's in two different directions. Might call it a civil war. I'm not saying everybody jump to arms. That isn't the case. However, it's a civil war of ideology. You know, the way people think. Either you're not a victim and you live in America, or you are a victim and you hate America. You want to burn it down. See, there's people, in the middle, in the gray area. They're being constantly divided. It's called the tribulation, right? But like I said, yeah, YouTube, they're slitting their own throat. And they're loving it. They're loving every minute of it. And they're trying to pretend to live in a world where they're not doing that, and they absolutely are doing that, right? What I wanted to explain earlier, that I brought up a couple days ago, was that E.T. Williams is banned yet again from YouTube, yet again. It's probably the third or fourth time. It's more than the second time he's been banned. This isn't a new thing, right? Thing is, it's been a number of days now, and just as I thought would happen, in the way that E.T. Williams is not coming back, it does seem to appear that he is not coming back to YouTube the way that he has before. And granted, it has probably taken a couple weeks to get back up onto YouTube before. What I'm guessing right now, if I were to have to throw out an educated guess, is that E.T. Williams is not really all that concerned. And in fact, he might not even come back to YouTube the way that he has been before. And that, contacting lawyers, having them contact YouTube's lawyers and stuff like that, and work everything out. He might not even bother with it. And the thing is, if he didn't bother with it, I can't say that I would blame him at all, right? Because it's November, whatever it is. By the way, I was thinking about you on your birthday, all right? I didn't really know how to get in contact with you. I do need to get your phone number. Don't put it on YouTube, but I'm gonna have to get your phone number, and vice versa. We're gonna have to figure something out, because obviously I'm gonna try and swing down to San Antonio, talking about the holiday season. All right, E.T. Williams, he might not have to come back to YouTube, and let me explain. He's probably not the first person who's totally given up on YouTube and being jerked around. He probably is, and there's probably been many of them already. However, I think E.T. Williams is a pretty significant bellwether in this situation, due to his popularity and also straight, what you would call just a patriotic American, red-blooded, beat you in the ass, please don't come around talking that shit type of individual. All right. E.T. Williams continues to get banned, and people like him. People continue to like him. This is why he has over tens of thousands of subscribers. So it's obvious that people like him. YouTube don't like him. Probably because all that Muslim speculation and everything like that. They actually threw E.T. Williams, and you can YouTube this. They threw E.T. Williams recently on MSNBC, talking about how he got banned from YouTube. And they explained the whole situation, something about that Sutherland Springs shooter. And I know El Nino heard about that Sutherland Springs shooter over there, right there outside of San Antonio. All right. Apparently E.T. had made a video regarding that. Now, meanwhile, you have to understand, you probably already know that people are delivering the news quick, fast, like immediately, like just way faster than you would ever want to think. They get the news, they deliver it onto the internet, they upload the video real fast. They got fast computers. That's what they're doing nowadays. They're getting hella views because they're beating out, whatever, NBC, whatever it is, whatever station. They're beating them out by being first, right? But you would imagine that would be like all part of the game in the internet world, is to be first in bringing people the news, right? So he does that. And MSNBC, they explain the whole thing about like, oh, he was doing that and he was trolling and stuff, and he was beating us to the punch, and he was saying some stuff we did not want you to hear. And And basically, we were just like tired of him. So we turned his shit off. We turned it off again. And, and that's what they did. They did it again for like the third or fourth time. Andrew El Nino Trevino, by the way, sometimes it takes me a while, but he said this a while ago. If only there was a non-corporative business as a video streaming alternative. That's actually in the works right now. Probably in many different instances, because people are preparing for this. You know, someone like Matt Drudge was bringing it up a while ago. You know, technically, YouTube and things like that, Facebook, and we all know it. What you can refer to them as are internet ghettos. They mush you into a little room and say, "Hey, all y'all stick in that room. You shut the fuck up." You know what I'm saying? Or are we going to turn you off? We're going to turn off the faucet. But yeah, people are very into free speech. They're really getting into it, and we're talking about on the right and on the left. People are getting into that free speech. They're separating themselves from people who are outrageous and nutballs. Now, of course, on both sides of the spectrum that happens. On the left side, it's going cuckoo nutballs all day right now. Very violent, very illogical, all sort of just disgusting. Like, people are in bad health. They look like zombies and ghouls. All right? They love Bernie Sanders for some reason and putting on masks and stuff. I swear they do. These people out here talking about, saying Donald Trump's like ruining their lives and things like this. And I'm like, damn, dude, why don't you get a job and go to work? You know what I'm saying? But that's the situation we're dealing with. But still on the left and the right, and like I said a long time ago, I'm basically what they would refer to as liberal, in the way that I do not give a damn what you're doing. I don't care about I don't have enough time in the day. So that is what it is. You could say that I'm on the left like that. However, all those people are goddamn nutballs, and they're turning into zombies. They're all off on that dope, I'm talking about, from the doctor. Right? They're made out of weird shapes. They make weird noises. I swear I've been watching it every single day almost, man. People just the other day, someone ran up on Owen Schroyer in a chicken costume, and he grabbed his microphone and he broke it on the ground. And then he ran away like a chicken in the costume. Not like a coward, like an actual chicken, because he was in the costume flapping his wings back and forth. He got apprehended by the police on bicycles. Right? That's a stupid situation to get yourself involved in. That's what's going on basically on the left. That doesn't really happen on the right. If you were to go by that whole left-right thing. Andrew says this: socialism is an American death. Perhaps. It's a very, very slow death. It's a very cankerous death that takes a long time and is very painful, because socialism, obviously, it's been imbued on us for a long time, little by little, a long, long time ago. In reference to the public schools and things like this, socializing hospitals, which is in certain ways pretty good. I mean, charity care is pretty damn good. That is an American thing, from what I understand. You know what I'm saying? We're like innovators when it comes to charity care and stuff like this. People are getting shit all twisted. They're hopping on that Bernie train, even though Bernie sold them out like nobody's business. It's crazy how quiet a Bernie Sanders gets when Hillary Clinton's getting in trouble. Andrew El Nino Trevino says this: look up Ayn Rand. I remember a long time ago when you brought her up, Ayn Rand, and every time I see her, name, I have not yet read one of her books, but I hear about her a lot. Every time I hear her name, I think about when you brought her up, and how she's pretty like no nonsense and certain things. Some of her views, as I've heard it explained, can be controversial from time to time. But yeah, I would like to look it up. Shoot, man, I would like to look it up, and I might. But anyways, he says, look up Ayn Rand's definition for Democrats and Republicans and how she identified both. Seems very accurate. Probably is, because it's all human nature. You splitting stuff up into a dichotomy, and pretty much it's just separate and conquer, and divide and conquer, and fucking rape them. That's pretty much how it goes. All right, so I mean, of course, I was telling Tammy the other day, and we're getting a little bit off topic, but I was telling Tammy the other day, I was like, Tammy, think about it. I know you don't like to think about politics very much, Tammy, right? But imagine this. You know how, like, in the election, every 4 years, you have the Democrats and the Republicans, and they're all cutting each other's throats right before they pick one of them to represent every one of them, and it doesn't make sense, and they'll have all sort of beefs, and the Democrats do the same, to where they only have one person each to choose from. You put them together, and then they go through an election, and they cut each other's throats all day for a long, long time until one of them wins. All right, and see, that's the thing about it. It creates beef, which doesn't make sense at all, and then it never did. All right, the Democrats will be hating, they'll be getting all salty, but here's the thing: if anything made sense, what the Democrats would do immediately after losing is go to Donald Trump's office and say, hey, sir, we understand that you just won and we lost, all right? But God bless America. Is there anything that we can do for you to help you, right? You want to talk about some stuff. That's how a society that made sense would work, right? We don't do that. We do the exact opposite. Actually, we don't do it. They do it. They do it right in front of us, and they trick us into letting them do it right in front of us. And that's what happens, right? I mean, think about any other company. It's like, dude, someone eventually has to be the boss, or what you would call the manager. Andrew El Nino Trevino knows all about that. Somebody has to put on the boss pants, right? And after that happens, when someone puts on the boss pants and starts paying everybody's checks, what everybody else does is they fall in line. They fall in line because that's business, that's America, that's success, that's winning and winning and winning, which we're known to do. You know what I'm saying? Stuff gets real and stuff like that, but they want to divide, so that you hate this person, or you want them to hate this person, or you think that it's necessary to hate that person. Meanwhile, there ain't a company out here in the free market that works that way. You can't have constant war constantly and think that it's productive. It does not make sense. It doesn't begin to make sense. The debates during the election every 4 years are not debates. By definition, they're not debates, and none of it makes sense. So Ayn Rand was probably pretty on point. I believe that she probably was. In that, it's all hindsight now, but it's actually quite clear to see that, yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean to help us, the system. Shoot, Andrew Javino just says this. He says, I have to go, man. I appreciate you being here. We're gonna finish this off. You can go watch the rest later, man. I'm gonna have to holler at you real soon. So holler at me. All right. Here's the thing. Just to finish off, E.T. Williams does not have to get back on YouTube at all. While this whole left-right thing is trying to play theater in front of us and play all sorts of tricks in front of us, the world's still turning and it's still changing, and we're balls deep up in a communication renaissance, if you will. E.T. Williams does not need YouTube in order to make that money, right? He doesn't. He already has his own website, his own brand. He knows how to bring the news. He knows how to bring it real quick. He has an intense fervor. He has what you would call a tenacity that you might only see in some gritty ass folks from Texas, right? So he's putting in that work. He's going real hard in the paint. He does not even need YouTube, because let's face it, YouTube has fucked with ET's paper like nobody's business, probably. I mean, back in the day, people used to make money from being on YouTube, believe it or not. Right? I never made money, but there were people out there who did. PewDiePie, etc. PewDiePie still makes money, but he has millions and millions and millions and millions. He's a top dog, so of course he makes money. There are people out there that make money, but for certain sort of voices, certain sort of skeptical voices out there, to include E.T. Williams, they cannot be afforded here on YouTube, right? And so therefore YouTube is cutting its own throat. And it's only a matter of time before it hits the ground. It's actually already falling. It's in free fall. It's about to hit the ground, right? It's already pretty much dead in the air, YouTube. They don't give a damn. It really does not matter to them, because they think this money is going to continue to make itself. It's not really going to when everybody leaves. And that's what they're doing right now. Like, what happens is E.T. Williams, he's been banned before. You know what I'm saying? He's regained subscribership over and over and over again. People know who he is by word of mouth. His name's going to continue to get out. What YouTube just did is they made E.T. Williams a legend. I had a friend comment on the previous video because he actually understood what I was talking about, and the whole video made it gibberish. And that, you know, it's sad that E.T. Williams got banned. In a sense it is, but in a sense it really does not matter. E.T. Williams is going to ball out right now because YouTube made E.T. Williams into a legend. Right? For show. Don't nobody need YouTube no more. Right? They think that people still need them because a lot of people use them, and I still use them, obviously. People don't need them. It's exactly what you were talking about, in that, you know, people want to have long-winded discussions. If you're censoring the damn the subject material, if you're censoring certain sort of language, right, there's no way to have long-winded conversations with others who disagree with you, who have opposing views. There ain't no way to get down to like some commonality, some common ground, something y'all can agree upon, right? Unless you talk for long periods of time. You'll notice that doesn't happen on television at all, dude. It doesn't happen. Take in mind the Bill O'Reilly back in the day, dude. Don't nobody really get to the heart of the matter, especially on what was called news. Don't nobody watch the news no more, right? It's silly, right? It's for some reason YouTube wants to go down the same road. They actually made their own televisions, like YouTube television. It's like they don't understand why they were invented. Real slowly, YouTube is called YouTube. It's supposed to be the opposite of television, and now they have YouTube television. All right, there's no depth that they won't stoop to, YouTube, and they're dead. They're gone. All right. And I wish them the best, but we're all gonna have to move on eventually. I'll holler at y'all about it. Y'all holler at me about it. Where people are going to, this and that. A lot of people are get out of these ghettos, if you will, of social media. What they're doing is they're just making their own URLs, having their own web pages. Might cost a little bit of money, but they make money, right? So they're having their own websites. People go directly to them on their little smartphone gadget device and donate them some money. I'm actually, E.T. Williams is on a very short list of people who I am donating to currently right now. My money, because like I said in a whole different video, I gotta explain, I'm getting that money, all right? Got that money, so I'm going on the internet. People are needing my support personally, and I can feel it, right? They need some money so that they continue to do their brilliant research that I don't have the time in the day to do, but I need it done. I want them to do it and deliver it to me on a silver platter, which is what they do. And so I give them money for it, right? E.T. Williams is the only one that I haven't gone to his website. I'm about to do it right now. Give him a little bit of money, right? And I'm going to continue to do so. This ain't virtue signaling or whatnot. I know a lot of people want to go up on the internet and talk about how they give, and they give and give, and they're a very good person. That's not what this is. It's just, I want to throw out the idea that I've been kind of throwing out, in that, you know, when cable television is absolutely disappointing and disturbing and just not realistic, you want to go to the internet and see real people. You gotta understand, those real people will really talk to you, will really answer your questions. This is a whole new way of receiving news and giving it out, where the people do it back and forth to each other and stuff like this. You can still do that, and that's still very possible, even without these social media networks. All you have to do is create a following, get a buzz, word of mouth, get your website out. Stop having Google totally discriminate on you in the damn web searches and putting you way at the bottom and stuff like this, because that's been an issue. However, you could just go ahead and make a different search engine, which there are alternatives, and some are more discreet than others. But like I said, we're at a point right now, late 2017, that people officially do not need YouTube. The people who are on already and who built a large buzz, y'all get banned from YouTube. Basically, y'all can say anything you want. Y'all push the envelope as far as you want. And I notice there's people out there already doing that right now. There's people out there on the left and right, or whatever you would call it, everywhere in between, who are pushing that envelope right now, seeing if they can expand horizons as far as this communication renaissance we're going through. It's all sort of people doing great work. And when you even think about the mathematics of things, like E.T. Williams, for example, tens of thousands of subscribers, right? All right, these are tens of thousands of people who like his videos enough to click a button to make sure that they get notices. That's liking a video kind of a lot. So they're going to tend to keep looking up those videos when they get the notices, when they're subscribed. Now, if you think about maybe 10%, maybe even 5% of those people, they perhaps like the videos enough so much. They like them so much, and they appreciate it so much that 5% of people who watch the video are so touched and so moved, and they benefit so much that they're reaching into their pockets, right? Like they want to do something, or they might want to help in some sort of way. You can help in all sort of different ways, prayer included. There's lots of things that you can do, but you can also give money, and that's a little bit easier. What I would want to throw out there is there's a lot of poor folks. Trust me, I've been poor a long time and know what it's like to do that, and I know what it's like to stretch money. I think if you're on broke status and poor status, really, you should only really, financially speaking, you should only really pray for people and stuff. And you should get your money in, right, to where you're comfortable. Now, if you have a crack problem and stuff like this, you're going to blow all your money. But if you know how to save, you're going to wind up saving up some money and doing your own thing, doing what you like. All right? We're living in a damn communication renaissance, you know what I'm saying? People are doing a damn thing, and they can be easily funded. You know what I mean? If that 5% of ET's subscribership, if they were to send them, I don't know, $1, $2, $3, $4 a month, that would easily fund what he's trying to do and give us all the entertainment, all the education, all the pep talks that you could possibly want. That's the beauty of the internet. It's floating around in the air. YouTube wants to fuck that up, right? Their agenda has been to fuck that up for a while now. They're going down. This is the end of YouTube. And those smug bastards, like, they couldn't die fast enough. It's ridiculous. Expect E.T. Williams to really turn up the heat now. YouTube does not know what it's doing. When it bans people, it makes them stupid popular. Anyways, eventually I'm going to get banned, hopefully. It's sooner than later. This is November, y'all. 19th or 20th, something like that. 2017, and I'll holler at y'all. Thank you to everybody who's watching tonight. Thank you to everybody who'll be watching later. I love y'all. And I'll holler at y'all.